And I want to introduce one of those members of the community, Adam Sanchez. He's a student teacher at Lincoln High School, also a member of the ISO, and he's going to talk to us about how this doesn't only affect us, because this isn't just a corporate restructuring, this isn't just a corporate takeover of higher public education, but they're also attacking our K through 12 education. So give Adam Sanchez a big round of applause.
All right, Wael asked me about an hour ago to speak a bit about the attack that's going on in K through 12 education, and I think the attack that's coming to PSU is part of a much broader attack on the public education system in this country. And I think the thing that exemplifies this the most is by going straight to the top and talking about who our education secretary is, Arne Duncan. Okay? Arne Duncan, I think the first thing that needs to be said about him is the guy who is in charge of the public school system in this country, went to private schools his entire life. Then after a brief basketball career, he became the Education Initiative Coordinator at Ariel Capital Management, an investment firm, where their primary school, Ariel Community Academy, says that they want to make the stock market an average dinner table conversation for their kids. They give their first grade classroom $20,000 in a stock portfolio to invest in the stock market, and then they're expected, when they graduate, to give $20,000 back to the incoming first grade classroom and split the profits they've made between themselves, the graduates, and Ariel Capital Management, the investment firm. I just imagine these first grade kids when the stock market crashed, like crying in the room, right? This is the mindset that this person is coming from. He became Chicago Public Schools executive at the age of 35 and its CEO at 38. And the fact that they even call these positions executive and CEO should tell you something about the mindset that they're coming from. As CEO of Chicago Public Schools, he headed up the Renaissance 2010 plan, established by the elite commercial club, a century-old Chicago institution comprised of the largest and most powerful corporations in the city, that was the biggest privatization scheme since the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. Renaissance 2010 called for the closing of 100 public schools and reopening them as privatized charters. And Arne Duncan, our education secretary, was an enthusiastic advocate of this scheme. He privatized schools at Chicago Public Schools at a rate of about 20 schools per year. So you begin to see the people who are at the top who filter down to the bottom. One quote I'd love to read by Arne Duncan. He said this, revealing his corporate-minded orientation to schooling. He told room full of businessmen at the commercial clubs, "Free to choose, free to succeed, the new market in public education symposium."
What a moron!
All right, well, he said "I'm not a manager of 600 schools. I'm a portfolio manager of 600 schools, and I'm trying to improve my portfolio." So that's the kind of mindset that is at the top of our education system, and it filters down to the public education system right here in Portland. Our K through 12 superintendent, Vicki Phillips, pushed through school choice market reforms, and then when she increased the achievement gap in Portland Public Schools, she went on to become the head of the Bill and Melinda Gates pro-charter, pro-merit pay, anti-union foundation. These are the kind of people who are at the very top, advising all our superintendents, our Broad residents, from the Eli Broad pro-charter, pro-merit pay, anti-union foundation. These are the people all across in urban districts that are in the school districts that are leading these restructuring plans. And I think it's time we have to stop and say, hell no, we're not going to allow this to happen anymore. That teachers and students need to be at the forefront of school reform, and they should be taking charge of their schools rather than corporations and corporate reformers. Public education under attack. What do?